Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Reese and I am the instructor for your English 102 course this semester. So I just wanted to create this video to let you know a little bit about myself and about the class and how things will be working. Um, so I live in Pittsburgh, PA with my husband and my son who's 2 years old. They're outside behind me right now chopping some wood. So you may or may not see them go past the window, who knows. And you might wonder, what is this person from Pittsburgh doing teaching your class? I previously lived in New Jersey for 2 years, and I taught at Burlington County Institute of Technology during that time as a high school English teacher. Um, and that's how I started working at Burlington County College, or that's what it was called then before it was Rowan. So, in addition to being a teacher, I'm a full-time, or being an instructor for Rowan, I'm a full-time regional autistic support teacher for Pittsburgh Public School District. Um, so, just a note about reaching out to me. The best way to contact me or to get in touch with me is through text. I do check messages and I do check email, but the most efficient way is text during the day anyway, because I am at work from about 8 o'clock till 5 o'clock every day. I don't get home until 5 o'clock. If you would want to set up any kind of meeting with me or any kind of one-on-one for additional assistance on any of your assignments or anything like that, just let me know, and we can definitely do that in the evening or on the weekend. So this course, the basis of this course is literary analysis, and talking about why we read, what we bring to the table when we read something. And the first two stories, the one story is called Araby, and the other story that you're going to be reading for week one is called A Good Man is Hard to Find. And they both deal with issues of morality, of ethics, of the battle between good and evil. And, obviously many of those things are present in the media right now. So, if there's anything that you want to discuss that isn't exactly related to the guiding questions for this week, you can definitely do that in relationship, to the text and to the kind of themes that you see in the text. If you don't want to stray away from the prompts that I've given, then you can also, consider that maybe for one of your essays that you're going to be writing. So your main assignment this week is Journal 1, which there are several questions that you can choose from. You're only choosing one prompt related to the story that you want to write about. And then the other assignment is your introduction post, which is going to allow me to get to know a little bit more about you and where you're from and what your major is and what your experience is with writing. And those kinds of things. So I'm looking away from the camera right now because I'm looking at the class. I'm clicking on the class right now, and I just wanted to take a look at the prompts to talk about those briefly. So just give me 1 second. I had it pulled up, and then of course my page refreshed. Okay, so these prompts are, designed to kind of get you thinking about your own life too. And like I said, if you want to tie anything in, from your personal experience or from anything in mainstream or in mainstream media, you can do that as well. So the first prompt it says, what do you think about the boy's love for Megan's sister? That is an Araby prompt. So if you're choosing to read that story, that's the prompt that you could follow if you chose to. It says, have you ever experienced puppy love or momentary infatuation before? How is your experience different to or similar to or different from or similar to the boys? So that's a good one for you to be able to speak to your own experience. You're analyzing what he experienced with Megan's sister, but you're also able to kind of talk about yourself. The second prompt is related to Araby as well. So Joyce mentioned in several letters that he chose Dublin as the setting for Dubliners and that's the book that Araby comes from, because for him the city seemed to be the center of paralysis. Without getting into the historical background of Dublin and in around World War I, we can discuss where the sense of paralysis comes from in the story and also how and why we feel it or not feel it in our own hometown. So, where you live, is there any kind of sense of paralysis, of something just remaining stagnant and remaining the same and nothing being able to, make its way out of it? Um, Number 3 is also about Araby. So it says this story is often cited as a story about the loss of innocence. Describe the boy's loss of innocence in this story and compare a moment in your own life where you can think of where you identify with loss of innocence. So, do you have any kind of experiences where you can remember the kind of passage from childhood to adulthood? Number 4 is related to a good man is hard to find. Did it shock you, or were you unfazed by the ending? So I don't want to give it away. And then number 5, who is the real misfit in the story? In a larger context, how can we compare the grandmother and or the misfit to individuals in our modern day society? That's probably my favorite of the prompts. Either number 5 or number 1 are my favorite. So if I were to write it, I would choose one of those. So when you're discussing, you're doing your best to, it's only a 1-page paper. You can make it a little, you can make it longer. I'm not against you making it longer. I'm just letting you know you don't have to write more than 1 page. But it can be a little bit taxing if you're trying to keep it to 1 page to talk about both the story and, how your life relates to it, or, making sure that it crosses over to be able to fully answer the question. So if you go, if it's 2 pages, that's fine. I'm not worried about you going over 1 page. Just make sure that it's at least 1 page and that you're using MLA format. Okay. So that was way more than I even planned on saying in this video, but I just want to try to give you as much information as I could. Also in the week 1 section, there's the text of the story. So if you haven't secured the textbook yet, I put the full text of the stories in there. I put some videos in there also that you can watch to kind of, help you learn about the stories. And if you need anything, please feel free to reach out to me. All right. Thanks.